So we were wrong last week. Let's find out if we were right this week. And along the way, we're going to talk a little bit about philosophy. We get a little out there with, probability and predicting the future and why maybe predicting the future isn't what you think it is. So let's do it. Let's jump right into our predictions. How did we do from last week, Lee?
Yeah, we did okay. I mean, basically, we're looking at euro and US dollar, and we said it wouldn't go below a certain level, which we'll show, and I'll tell you what the numbers are. And it didn't. And we're looking for a long play on euro US dollar moving up over the next few days.
Nice. All right, so let's look at that.
Last time we showed this image, we were at the crosshairs in the red, the upper and lower, and we were at price 1.067. And we said from there that we'd expect it to go no lower than 1.5, which is down here, somewhere which it did not, as you can see. And we're looking for it to go up, up, and up, effectively going quite a bit higher from where we're at the moment. And we started to see that this week with the price getting into the 1.07s, but it did pull back down. And right now, it certainly hasn't gone up, 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 but it's certainly higher than the predicted price that we had in the last video.
So you're expecting it just to keep going from there?
Yeah, I mean, we are really. We're expecting it to go up this edge of this red zone up into here, and it may take off up here from there. We're expecting price to get to these 1.095 levels probably in the next week or two. That would be my hope for this prediction, that in the next few days it gets up there and then can get there before we make the next video. But that is part and parcel of our prediction. We think we've seen the bottom now and we're heading up.
Which brings us to our discussion of predicting the future. And it's interesting because when you start thinking about how the future goes, you can be right about predicting the future and wrong, because if you believe that we have free will, if you believe that, actions change things, it's really sort of impossible to predict a static future because anything could happen to change it. Probability, determinism, free will, all that kind of thing. So one of the things that's important, right, Lee, is like if you're doing this kind of thing that we're doing, you have to be able to modify. You have to be right in the direction you're going, but you have to also be able to modify that. And the trick here is if we can do it before it actually changes, right?
What we do is we do a holographic decryption of market flows, and that's what it's the basis for our prediction. We do it in 12 frequencies and we overlay them. And we have a lot of tech that sort of blends it and produces the graphics, and that gives us a view. But you're absolutely right. From time to time, those predictions are going to chop and change, and we need to be really dynamic in terms of our interpretation and how we utilize them to make our trading decisions.
Right. So we've got a fun game here every week. We do a prediction to prove that we can. But if you're trading, that's not very helpful because you want to know the direction things are going, changes. If you can call the bottom, which we have done a few times, that's fantastic because you're not supposed to be able to do that. But you also, the importance of being able to change your strategy because you've noticed something is going to change is important. And that's what Ghost can do, right?
Yeah, for traders, the most important thing is called an inflection point, which is that it's going to go in one particular direction the time you put your trade on. And that, sometimes, if you don't have a good piece of technology, is a 50-50 coin toss. Now, we think that the MKT Ghost platform and the surrounding technology gives a much, much higher edge to your trading. The inflection point is what traders want because they can make money when they know there's a turning point and they have less risk. That's what really matters.
Exactly. Yeah, so just wanted to talk about that for a minute because it can be a little confusing because, like I said, we're doing these weekly predictions and it is just to show the tool works. but to actually apply the tool to trading, you have to do the things you said.
Absolutely. And we actually utilize the tool to do some day trading, which is short-term trades. We use it for swing trading to support our main trader doing the real big trades with the real big money accounts. And then we use it to show off on Twitter that we have some interesting predictions.
So the philosophers can argue whether or not we live in a deterministic universe or not, and whether or not we have free will. What we do know is that our trader is making 188% compounded trade profit in the last 11 months, and we'll go with that. So please make sure to check out Lee on Twitter. Ask him some questions. He's a nice guy. You'll like him. And follow us there, and please subscribe here or like this video if you get some value out of it. Hopefully you are. There he is with his phone. And we hope you guys all have a very good week, and we'll see you next week.